Wired Equivalent Privacy, which in short is WEP, is a security protocol specified in the IEEE Wireless Fidelity Standard 802.11b. The standard is designed to provide a wireless local area network, means WLAN, with a level of security and privacy comparable to what is usually expected on a wired LAN. The WEP protocol was introduced in 1997 but was plagued by several security issues. Standard body began discouraging its use in the early 2000s as more effective standards were introduced. WEP attempted to limit the access to wireless network data in the same way that wired local network protect the data. Users with physical access to the network access point are the only one with a access with the wired network. So wireless network like Wi-Fi depend on encryption protocol like WEP to prevent unauthorized access to network data. So let's talk about web cracking. In order to crack web, we first need to capture with large number of packets. That means we can capture a large number of IVs. Once we have done that, we will use a tool called AirCrackNG. This tool will be available to use an statistical attack to determine the key stream and web key to all the target. You can use this tool on Kali Linux or any Linux distributor. It's a built-in tool, so you don't need to do anything. Just install Kali Linux and open terminal and just follow the process. This method is going to be better than what we have more for 2 packets, and our chances of breaking the key will be much higher. So let's look at the most basic case of cracking a web key. To do this, we will set Wi-Fi card in a monitor mode. After this, we will run a command, this command, arrow_dump_ng. This is the our local network. So it will vary from machine to machine. It will vary, as you can see, this is WLAN 0. Maybe in your machine it will be WLAN 1 or LAN 1, LAN 0. So make sure you check your own machine's one. So just run this command to see all the network that are within our Wi-Fi range, and then we will target one of those target networks. When one LAN stands for the interface, the following output will be displayed by executing this command. So in this, the 4th network has come up with a Java T point on network. So this one, as you can see, web. So on this network, we are going to perform our attack, and we are going to run arrow dump against Java T point network by using the command like this command. So here we run arrow_dump_ng against the Java T network with a BSS ID, which is this, as you can see, BSS ID, this one. So this is the BSS ID, and we have included this minus channel number 11, and we add write to store all the packet that we capture into a file, which is web. After running the command, the following output will be like this. So this is a busy network data, and the data shows the number of useful packet that contains in a difficult IV, in different IV, and we can use it to crack the key. If the number is higher, then it is more likely to crack the key for us. So in this scenario, so we can see the client. As you can see, we can see the client all in here. So now we'll use just list, as we all know, just ls, type ls to list all of those. So we can see that we have a capture file, CSV file, that was specified in the write argument. Now we will launch AirCrackNG against the file that arrow_dump has created for us. So we can launch AirCrack against it even if we didn't stop AirDump. So it will continue be running, and we will also working on AirDump, and our AirCrackNG will still be running in background. So it will keep reading the new package that arrow_dump is capturing. So what you have to do now is use this command, AirCrackNG web. This is the saved file, So we are going to use this file to aircrack. So make sure you open it in a new terminal, because we have to use this arrow dump on, which is continue to track the traffic. So make sure you use the new terminal to use this command and press enter. So when we use aircrack ng, we will put the file name, which is the file name is the web02.cap. So if aircrack fails to determine the key, aircrack's waited until it reaches 5000 IVs and then tries again. So the thing is, you have to be patient. And web cracking or WPA or PA2, you in this cracking method, it's gonna take some time, hours and hours. So make sure you just be patient and just wait for the cracking to end. So we have to wait until the aircrack can successfully crack the web key. So once we decrypt the key, we can just press Ctrl C to cancel the running window, because unless it will continue to crack, continue to running, continue to track the packets and etc. So just press Ctrl C to cancel the data pack. So as you can see in this final picture, aircrack has successfully managed to get the key within these data packets. So we can see that the key is found. So we can connect to the target network, which is Java T point. As you can see, Java T point, your key is 12345. So we just need to copy the 12345 and paste it to connect to the Java T point. You can also connect using the key, which is like this one. This is the key. So in some cases we are not able to see the ASCII password. So many cases you will not see this, you will only see this. So at that time we can use key to connect the network. So do this, just copy this and remove the colon between the number, and just using 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 key, and you can connect to the Java T point. And that's all. Very easy to crack web cracking. That's why it's not recommended for many years previously, because it's too easy to crack the system that provided the web cracking. So that's how you do it. Wi-Fi protected access, which is WPA, is a security standard for computing device equipped with wireless network connections. WPA was developed by the Wi-Fi Alliance to provide more sophisticated data encryption and better user authentication than WEP and the original Wi-Fi security standard. WPA was initially released in 2003. The Wi-Fi Alliance defined WPA as response to serious weakness found in the WEP protocol. A more secure version, WPA2, was released in 2004. So in 2018, the Wi-Fi Alliance announced the release of WPA 3rd and the current version of WPA 3. So WPA works using discrete models and enterprise and personal use. The most recent enterprise mode, WPA to EAP, uses a strength A22 into 1x authentication. The latest personal mode, WPA to PSK, uses simultaneous authentication of equal, which is SAE, to create a secure handshake. So how can you hack WPA or WPA2 network? So Kali Linux can be used for many things, but it probably is best known for ability to penetration test or hack WPA and PA2 network. You can also hack using Kali Linux. There are hundreds of Windows applications that claim that they can hack WPA, but don't get them. They are just a scam used by professional hackers to lure newbie and wannabe hackers into getting hacked themselves. There is only one way to hack or hackers get into your network, and this is using a Linux based OS, a wireless card capable of monitoring mode, and a aircrack ng or similar Also note that even with these tools, Wi-Fi cracking is not for beginners. Playing with it requires basic knowledge and how WPA authentication works and moderate familiarity with Kali Linux and its tools. So let's begin with this hacking WPA or PA2 network. So first you have to have a Kali Linux or similarly Linux, any Linux distributor. So just install it, and you have to have a must wireless adapter capable of injector or monitor mode. Some computers have network cards capable of or from this factory. So if you are most, however, you will have to buy a external one. A word list to attempt a crack the password once it's captured. So you need this, a word list, and the most and important thing is time and patient. So some notice. So hacking into anyone's Wi-Fi without permission is considered an illegal act or crime in most countries. We are performing this for the sake of penetration testing, hacking to become more secure, and are using our own test network and router. So make sure you don't use other network to hack this. It is not advisable, and I do not support this to another machine for hacking purpose. So just go to your Linux terminal, plug in your capable wireless adapter. So if you are using Kali in VMware, then you might have to connect the card via the device menu. So then what you have to do is you just disconnect all the wireless network, as you can see. So open a terminal, so just type airmon ng and it will disconnect all those wireless network on your Kali Linux. So then this will list all the connector wireless card, as you can see, WLAN 0. This is mine. So that supports monitoring mode. So if no card are listed, try disconnect and reconnect the adapter and check that if it support monitor mode. So if you are not using an external adapter and you still don't get anything listed, then your card doesn't support monitor mode and you will have to purchase an external one. Then what you have to do is just type airmon ng start your. This will vary from machine to machine, so make sure check yours and type not this one, make sure you type yours. So it may be like LAN 0, LAN 1, it may be different, so make sure you type the connected one, otherwise it will show error. So just type airmon ng start and followed by the interface name of your wireless card. So mine is WLAN 0, so my command would be like this. The monitor mode is enabled, as you can see on airmon 0. Mon 0 means monitor mode is enabled. So the card has successfully been put into the monitoring mode. So note that the new monitor mode interface is mon 0. Then type airmon ng, airmon dump ng and your monitoring mode. As you can see, mon 0 because this one is this one. So just type air dump ng followed by the name of your new monitor interface, which is probably most likely be mon 0. So AirDump will now then after this list all those wireless networks in your area and a lot of useful information about them. Locate your network on the network that you have permission to penetration test. Once you exported your network on the ever population list, just type press Ctrl C to copy or just Ctrl C to stop the process, because it will continue run this process in here. So make sure you stop the process by pressing Ctrl and C. So this will be our target network. So what you have to do now, copy this, as you can see, just copy this BSID to the target network. Now type this AirDump ng, this is the channel, this is the BSS ID, then this is the directory, and this is the monitor interface. So replace all of those from your machine, not this one, because this one from my machine. So make sure you change it to your machine. As you can see, this is from this. So replace channel with the channel of your target network. Paste the BSS ID where BSS ID is. Replace the monitor interface, the name of your monitor enable interface. Then -w and the file path command specified a place where arrow dump will save any intercepted 4-way handshake, which means necessary to crack the password. So here we saved it at the desktop. As you can see, this is the desktop directory. So a complete command will be like this. So just type this, then this will show this. So just press enter. So arrow dump will now in monitor mode. So this is the monitor mode. It will continue be running from the target network, allowing us to capture more traffic information about it. What we are really doing now is waiting for a device to connect or reconnect to the network, forcing to the router to send out the 4-way handshake that we need to capture in order to crack the password. Also, 4 files should show up in your desktop. This is where, so this is the directory, this is where handshake will be saved when captured, so don't delete them. But we will not really going to wait for device to connect, so that's not impatient hackers do. We will actually going to use another cool tool that belongs to the AirCrack suite called AirPlay NG to speed up the process. Instead of waiting for a device to connect, hacker can use this tool to force a device to reconnect by sending a deauthentication, which means the deauthentication package to one of the network devices, making it think that it has to reconnect with the network. Of course, in order for this tool to work, there has to be someone else connected to the network list. So watch the arrow dump ng and wait for client to show up. It may take long time, it may take even less time, it may take second before after the first one shows. So if none shows after a lengthy wait, then the target network might be empty right now, or you're too far away from the network. So as you can see in this picture, there is a client appeared to on our network, allowing us to restart our next step. Then what you have to do is leave arrow dump ng running and open a terminal. So this is the another terminal. So as you can see, this is the previous one. So it is still running, and we will have to open the another terminal and type this command. So arrow dump airplay ng -02. So the -0 is a shortcut of the shortcut for the death mode, deauthentication mode, sorry, and the 2 is the number of deauthentication packet to send, and -a, so this one -a indicated the access point or router's BSS ID. Replace, so make sure you insert this BSS ID with the BSS ID of the target network, which in my case is this one. As you can see, this one. -c indicates the client's BSS ID. So the device we are trying to deauthentication, the note in the previous picture in here, as you can see, replace the client BSS ID with the connected client, and this will be stored in the station. And of course Mon0 merely means with the monitoring interface, so change it yours if it slightly different. So the complete command look like this. Then after hitting enter, you will see that AirPlay sends the packets. So if you are close enough to the target client, this will deauthentication process will work, and this message will show in the arrow dump screen, as you can see. which was running, as you can see, which was running previously. We didn't stop it. So this means that the handshake has been captured. The password is in the hacker's hand, and in some form of another there is one password. So you can close the AirPlay NG terminal and just type pressed Ctrl C to close the Aerodome terminal and stop the monitoring. So but don't close it yet, if you just in case you need some of the more information later. So if you didn't receive the handshake message, then something went wrong in the process of sending the packets. Unfortunately, a variety of things can go wrong. You might just be too far away, and all you need to do is move closer. The device you are attempting to deauthentication might not be set to automatically reconnect until someone or something connect to the network. So if you are very close to the network, you could try a Wi-Fi spoofing tool like Wi-Fi Honey to try and fool the device thinking that you are the router. However, keep in mind that requires that you need to be significantly closer to the device of the router itself. So unless that happens or happens to be in your victim house, this is not recommended. Do note that despite your best effort, there may be many WPA networks that simply cannot be cracked by these tools. The network could be empty, the password could be 64 character long, etc. So next, this includes the external part of this lecture. From now on, the process is entirely between your computer and those 4 files are on your desktop. So actually is the .cap on, that's the important. Now open a new terminal and type this command. So -a is the method that AirCrack will use to crack the handshake, and 2 is the WPA method. -b stands for the BSS ID. Replace this one to, as I previously told, so your target router. So mine is this one. -w stands for word list. So replace the path. So this is the word list. As you can see from desktop, it will save as a wpa.txt. So I have downloaded wpa.txt in the root folder. So root.desktop.cap, this is the path of the .cap file that contains the password. So the means wildcard in Linux. So and since I am assuming that there are no other .cap files in your desktop, this should work just fine the way it is. So then the final command will be look like this. What you have to do, just press enter and you are done. AirCrack NG will now launch into the process of cracking the password. However, it will crack it if the password happens to be in the word list that you are selected. Sometimes it's not. If it's not in the case, you can try other word list. If you simply cannot find the password, no matter how many word lists you try, then it appears that your penetration test has failed and the network is at least in a safe from basic brute force. So safe from basic brute force attacks. Cracking the password might take a long time, very long time, depending on the size of the word list. So mine went very quickly. If the phrase is in the word list, then the AirCrack NG will show it to like this. The passphrase to our test network was not secure, as you can see, not secure, and you can see here it was in word list. And AirCrack found it. So if you find the password without a decent struggle, then change your password. If it's your network, if you are penetration testing for someone, then tell them to change their password as soon as possible. But I prefer you always test these types of method on your personal machine or your personal other wireless network that have in your house. So and I prefer and I suggest you don't use this for other people's cases, and that's how you hack WPA or WPA2 network using AirCrack. Like anything in life, there are multiple ways of getting a hack done. In fact, good hackers usually have multiple tricks up their sleeve to hack into a system. If they didn't, they would not be usually successful. No hack works on every system and no hack works all the time. Then, one of the most popular areas for those starting out in this discipline is hacking Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has been rife with vulnerabilities and insecurities over the years, and nearly everyone wants to take advantage of this. When Wi-Fi was first developed in the late 90s, the original encryption or security standard, which is wired equivalent privacy or WEP, was easily cracked in a minute by statistical method. When it was improved with WPA, Wi-Fi hacking became more difficult but still very doable. So why WPS is so vulnerable? WPS stands for Wi-Fi Protected Setup and was designed to make setting a secure AP simplified with the average home worker. First introduced in 2006, by 2011 it was discovered that it has a serious design flaw. The WPS pin could be brute forced rather simply. With only 7 unknown digits in the pin, there are like 9,000 or 9 lakh possibilities, and most systems can attempt that many combinations in a few hours. Once the WPS pin is discovered, the user can use the pin to find the WPA to pre-shared key, which is mean password. Since a brute force attack against a WPA to protected AP can take hours to days, so if this feature is enabled on the AP or not upgraded, it can be much faster to route to getting the PSK. So in this lecture we will be using a tool specially designed to brute force the WPS pin named River. Since it is built in on Kali Linux and other Linux security distributors, there is no need to download or install anything on your machine. Just you have to use Kali Linux or any Linux distributor that most of them has a built-in this tool. So but first let's talk about the background of this WPS. So the idea behind of this WPS was to simplify the setup of a wireless access point to the non-technical home user, usually an 8-digit pin as I previously told. Then this device would generate a complex PS key that would be virtually dictionary attack proof. So to attack the WPS, we need only to brute force the pin with 8 digits. This would simply amplify 10 to 8 power possibilities. Fortunately, the 8 digit is the checksum, and so now the number of possibility is down to 10 to 7 power or 10 lakh. This is certainly a doable number giving enough time. Fortunately for us, the manufacturers actually broke down this number into two pieces. The first 4 digit is the and the second 3 digit. As a result, the only need to crack is first 4 pin with 10 to the 4th power of the possibility or 10,000 possibilities, and then another with 10 to 3rd power possibilities or 1000. This means that the crack the pin this device we only need to try 11,000 possibilities. This is certainly very doable and the number of brute force attack. So the very first step is to reconnaissance for WPS enabled APs. Before we can attack the WPS, we need to find the APs that we have WPS enabled and not locked. The developers of River have provided a recon tool called Wash with River that does that. First, we need to put our wireless interface into a monitor mode with Airmon NG. As you can see, Airmon NG, this is the monitor mode. So what we have to do is we have to monitor or start our monitor mode by typing, as this is the monitor mode, just type start, and this is the wireline connection. This will vary from machine to machine. It might be wireline 1 or wireline 0. So make sure you check out your machine one. So let's just typing this, and now let's see whether any of the APs of this area have WPS enabled and unlocked. The syntax for wash is this one. So if the wireless network device is WLAN 0, Airmon NG will likely change its name to something like WLAN 0 mon. So which means the make certain to use the actual monitor device name available near to the bottom of Airmon NG output. This would give us the command line like this, full wash -I and WLAN 0 mon. So this is the connection name and this is the mon. As you can see in here, there are numerous APs near to my office with WPS enabled and unlocked. I should point out that there is at least 3 times this many APs visible from my office, but only these have WPS enabled and unlocked. These of course will be the APs that I will target. Note that the first column has a BSS ID, which is the unique. As you can see, this is the BSS ID, which will always be the unique MAC address of the AP, and we need to go to our next step. So next step is to crack the pin with reverse. So let's get to the cracking with WPS pin. So remember, we have to try up to 11,000 possible pins. So this will take a while, so usually several hours. The basic syntax for this river command looks like this, which means this is the machine, Kali machine, this is the river, this is the connection of WLAN mon which I previously saw, and so WLAN mon is the name of our wireless device in our monitor mode, as this is the monitor mode. BSS ID is the MAC address of the AP that we are tracking. As you can see, this is the BSS ID. This, as you can see, this will vary from machine to machine. So we are using this one. As you can see, this one, this is the BSS ID. So this is the BSS ID in the MAC address that we are attacking. So once it starts, it identifies the AP name, the number of maximum attempts, the manufacturer of the model name, and the model name. As you can see, all of them are mentioned and highlighted in here. So and it then begin to trying the all 11,000 possible pins. Eventually river will find the pin and present it to like this. Now that you can have the pin, you can just connect to the AP without having the password. So river password, one more way to crack the Wi-Fi access. It only works on system with WPS enabled and unlocked. It must be enabled and unlocked, otherwise it won't work. So it is crucial that you run the recon tools wash fast. This one you must have to this one start fast, otherwise you won't get into this stage. So when you find the WPS enabled and unlocked devices, river will capable of finding the pin by running through 11,000 possibilities within couple of hours. It may take 1 to 2 hours, but it will completely be done within a couple of hours, and that's how you can crack down WPS using river on Kali Linux or any Linux distributor. Wi-Fi Protected Access Enterprise is a wireless security mechanism designed for small to large enterprise wireless networks. It is an enhancement to the WPA security protocol with advanced authentication and encryption. WPA Enterprise uses a remote authentication dial-in uses service like Radius protocol to manage user authentication. WPA2 Enterprise has been around since 2004 and is still considered the gold standard for wireless network security, delivering over-the-air encryption and a high level of security. But don't think it is going easy to deploy in that time. regardless of whatever you deploy it for the first time or seasonal expert, there are always unique challenges ready to give you a headache. First, we need to set up our environment for which we will use hotspot tool, so which will create a fake radius server and also host the ROG AP. So what you have to do now, you have to download some dependency before we download our tool hotspot. So just type in your Linux machine, make sure you use Kali Linux or any Linux distributor. This will help you all of that, because most of the tools are already pre-installed, and couple of the tools that you need, you can just install it with using just a single command. So just type apt-get install libnl -3 then it will download all of this. It will take couple of minutes, and then download apt-get install. So after well deb, so this is the 3, this is the deb. So after that, install the hotspot WE. Now just open the WPA configuration file in here, and then change the SSD if you want, SSID. So if you want, you can change it in here. So after that, as you can see, we will check kill, means we will disable all our network connection in this PC or in this machine. Then after killing the running processes like WPA, supplicant, and then DS client, which can create problem for us while running virtual AP, and make sure your Wi-Fi card is connected to your Kali machine and up and running, because without the Wi-Fi card this won't work. You cannot monitor anything, your monitor will be blank, you cannot track or any packets. So it's better to have a Wi-Fi card that is connected to your Kali machine. So make sure you check that. Now the scenario is, we named our AP name same as our target AP, which is like take_k2 AP, this one, as you can see, take_. So now from our another laptop or another Wi-Fi card, we can put that into our monitor mode and check the target AP BSSID, which is the MAC address of the target AP and client's MAC address. So using that, we can do deauthentication using AirPlay NG and disconnect the client from its main AP. And as we have spoofed the name, we have to wait, and for that, then for the client to connect back to our fake AP, and then input the credential. As soon as he will put the credential, we will have that and in our radius server logs, and the attack is also done. And this attack is also called or known as evil twin. So now we will mimic ourselves as a target client and try to connect to our fake AP. So like this, in our phone we are going to target and connect to this fake AP. So as you can see, now we need to create a tool named slab. So before that, what you have to do, as you can see, we have to just type this configuration file in our terminal. So make that all of those are connected and running on our or monitoring on our device. So this will vary from machine to machine, so make sure you check that. As you can see, this is monitoring all of those on this network. So what we'll now do is, we'll try to create a tool name asleep. So as you can see, this is the tool that we're gonna do all the work. So what you're gonna type, so just type asleep, then -c. So this flag -c will represent the challenge parameter. So then the ID. So as you can see, this is the same challenge ID, as you can see. So make sure type this one, then type -R. So -R will represent response, and maybe many of you don't know, we used -W. So this one, so to get the word list from whatever come from the pipe, which is rocq.txt. This one, as you can see, this is the word list file. So we are using -W to get the word list from here. So as within a second we can crack the password, but this is a very simple password which is easy to crack. Now let's try with some more complex password this time. So as you can see, so as you can see, it will take a couple of minutes. So after a couple of minutes, as you can see, it cracked the password is in here. But what if the password is not listed in any word list, that in here? So if it isn't in here, so then we have to create our own rainbow table with the combination of alphanumeric plus special character. So for that we can use this character set.txt. to generate the list, and then we will use like crunch to generate our own rainbow table. So take an example like the password is password@123, and which is not available in this txt file or any of the list we have that created, so our own. So in this way you can try to crack the password, but this process will take a lot of time depending upon your password length and password strength, and obviously your data list. So make sure your data list is pretty big and pretty long, and the long your data list is, the longer it will take to generate the password, if it is matched or not. Then if it's matched, then as you can see, if it is matched, then as you can see all of them are in here, and this is the hash function, hash dump. So in this way you can generate or crack a WPA or PA2 enterprise password similarly, or you can use other way, but I think this is the easiest way to generate the enterprise WPA2 password.